What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lieutenant Nathaniel Flint of the Landship Scorpios, and today we're doing something a little different. We're doing a book review, a steampunk book review. And today we're going to be talking about the Aeronaut's Windlass. So, let's get some things out of the way first. Super general, non-spoilerly thoughts, reviews. It's been a little bit since I read this, so this is going to be like, it has settled since right after I read it. So how do I feel about it? Well, I like it. I do like it. However, going forward, I'm not going to want to see more of it, I think. I'll explain that more down the line. But for now, I like it. This is a very fun story. It takes a bit to get into it. It's got some cool things you don't see all the time. It's got some very stereotypical steampunk things. This is a good, solid steampunk book. It's a good suggestion. However, I do have some misgivings about it, and we'll get into that. If you want to read this book and haven't yet, or if you're looking for a spoiler-free thing, I will do a spoiler alert a little bit further on where I talk about things like the ending. But I am about to get into specifics of it. So if, depending on your level of spoiler, I will say this is a mid-level spoiler alert, and then we'll get a spoiler alert, a full-fledged, a little bit further on. But if you're looking for just a really quick where we are at, I like it. I would recommend it, but we're going to be talking a little bit more about it. So first, let me dive into it a little bit. So why is it steampunk? It is a good, solid steampunk book. It revolves around this airship captain and these kind of like peacekeepers, steampunk peacekeepers, and this spire world with this giant spire that everyone lives in. There's airships, there's a lot of things, but one of the negatives and I guess positives of this book is it is full of all the stereotypical steampunk things you want. The more I read, the more they introduce new elements, the more they introduce new parts of this world. I found myself rolling my eyes every single time they had a chance to do something. There's airships. The captain is an ex-war vet who's kind of like disgraced a little bit, but it's not his fault he's disgraced. He's actually very honorable. Rolled my eyes. Oh, they're kind of pirates, but they're still like, again, he's honorable. So they're still kind of fighting for the old war, but they're still kind of pirates. Eye roll. The ship is a sailing ship that floats with magic crystals that aren't really explained. And there are crystals of power, there's crystals of levitation, there's crystals of weapons. Crystals. None of it's kind of explained. They're grown in vats. That's really it. Eye roll again. I go on and on. They're cat people. Cat people are basically superhumans, and they're kind of cats. And there's a little bit of racism, I guess, against them, but like, they don't really do that. Everyone seems to like either absolutely fall in love with them or need them for warfare. So like, I don't know. I roll again. Oh, there's actual cats who talk and have clan systems and like all this other stuff. Wow, okay. Oh, there's aliens, I guess. Alien creatures that, of course, someone uses this power. And of course, there's aether power. That you have to throw out that word aether. It's not steampunk if there isn't an aether. All this stuff just kept being piled on. All the steampunk tropes are there. The mad genius, the quirky, like psychic girl, the strong independent woman, the supportive but equally like independent male, the shy, super strong one, the disgraced captain who's still fighting for his whatever. Like, they're all here. It's bunch trope. And I was getting seriously annoyed by it and almost ended it. However, it won me over. We got deeper into the book. I started caring. They started kind of on their arcs that are incomplete, I feel, but a lot of the character arcs started happening, and I started liking it. I started, when they stopped introducing new things, and they're finally using everything that they introduced in tandem, and things started coming together, I started liking it, and as much as I complained and I eye-rolled, at the end of the book, I was left feeling better. Honestly, I wanted more. I got to the end of this thick book, and I said, why did it have to end? I really wanted to read more. And that is a good thing. I ended up wanting to do more. So now we're going to get into spoilers. Not too heavy. I vaguely remember people's names, but we're going to get into spoilers. So, spoiler alert. So the story is pretty straightforward. Disgraced captain running a ship. Ship gets destroyed or hobbled. They're barely able to get back. And now he's bankrupt and destitute and doesn't know what to do. And his crew is hurt and smaller than ever. And they're kind of desperate. Cut. Another story. Young lady becoming a peacekeeper. She's doing it against her mother's wishes. She's going to go be the very best like no one ever was. She's got a childhood friend who's already a peacekeeper. And he's like, you can do it, but you got to play by the rules. And she's like, no, I don't want to play by the rules. She meets a friend who's shy, doesn't really want to be a peacekeeper. She's kind of forced into it by social standings because there's this rich and poor dynamic that's weird. And their family is basically Victorian middle class. They're still expected to do rich people things, but they're not rich, and they don't have the abilities that the rich people do. So she's kind of like just trying not to mess up, but she also doesn't, like, you know, have the social standings to do what she needs to do. There's a thing with the duel. They make it seem like it's going to be a big deal, and then it kind of just ends. Cities attacked, worlds collide. Basically, peacekeepers have to go on a mission with the captain to go and figure out if there are soldiers in the spire and what their plan is. And they have spies of another spire trying to start a war, and they think they're going to sabotage some things. They go down into the sub-level of the spire where there's cool steampunky things going on to find, they have to go get this like wizard guy who's this wizard inventor who uses the etheric power to do magic things and create great like technologies, and his apprentice who's a young lady who's going mad who wears hodgepodge things, typical steampunk pixie dream girl, I guess. You get them, they all go down together, they uncover a thing, there's a kung fu monk show, aliens and creatures that someone knows how to control. Ooh, how does that happen? And then they fight, and there's explosion, there's war happens, they can't stop certain things. They fix up the ship with these new crystals that they were given to by the government. They go off, having an epic airship fight that they end up surviving, and then they're left going, ooh, big story things are to come, and they're going to be big, and you're kind of left. So that's basically the story. What I'm left with is wanting more, but I'm kind of upset. It's a double-edged sword. So the reason is because at the end of the book, I wanted more. I was happy. I could recommend this. The problem is this book is already several years, I want to say, old by the time I got my hands on it and read it. And I was taking a break through my Harry Dresden run. Jim Butcher is the author, and he does the Dresden Files series. So I was taking a little bit of a break as I waited for other Dresdens to come in, and read this because it's steampunk and it's great. Doing research, the sequel to this is going to take a long time. From my understanding, he hasn't even started it, and it's going to take a long time. He's going to finish it after he finishes. I think he's finishing up Dresden first, or he's finishing up at least the next few, and then taking a break. And my problem is now that I'm fully caught up on Dresden, I love Dresden more than this. I want to see Dresden's story, all the book series finished, before I give a rat's butt about this. This just wasn't good enough. And in the end of the book, I craved so much more, and it could be years and years and years before we ever get that payoff. And that just leaves me being very negative about it. This book feels like it's a binge book. It really, it feels like the rough start, kind of like how Dresden 1 was for me. I felt it was a very rough start, but I was able to roll into the next the next 15, or whatever number I'm at. I was able to roll into it immediately. So I was able to binge 4 of them and get over the rough start, the negative feelings I had about it, some of the misogynistic things in it. I just didn't like it, and I got to watch those characters grow. I got to see a bigger story. I got to feel the author grow reading through the Dresden Files, and it got amazing. And now I'm entirely invested, and I want that story to end. I think there's 2 more on the way, and I can't wait for them to come out to read them. However, this is kind of not the case. I would not give up Dresden for this. I want the Dresden Files to end and this to take a back seat. And I feel bad about it. Even on its steampunk merits and whatever, if you hate Mystic, to be fair, if you hate magic and Mystic and Harry Dresden is not for you, you absolutely hate the fantasy stuff, this is steampunk fantasy. This is right there. This might not be for you anyways. But I feel like if you do like that stuff, my suggestion would be to pick up Dresden and wait until more of these come out to see how they're going to react. It is a good book. If you're desperate for steampunk literature, you're just burning through any other steampunk series, then pick it up. It's worth the read. You might like it. You might like it more than I did. I like the more grounded steampunk stuff anyways. Probably Citizens of Antwerp burned the fantasy out of me maybe. But it was good, it just wasn't good enough for what it was. It was a long book, it took a while to reel me in. Once it had me for, I don't know, maybe the last half of the book. I feel like I was still iffy halfway through. But I wanted more, and it wasn't there, and it's not going to be there for a while. By the time the next one comes out, I might have to reread this. It's kind of got Aragon issue. Aragon had years and years, 5-6 years between books. I binged the first 2 in high school, and then I had to wait years. And by the time the next one came out, I had to do almost a small reread of the other 2 that I wasn't interested in for the next one. And then years and years and years, and then the next one came out, and I wasn't even interested in it. And then it was only 5 years ago, a few years ago, that whatever the last one came out, and I was like, is that still going? I have no interest in it, and I know that real book readers, like the Game of Thrones people, will wait years and years and years and still be enthralled, and you're like, yeah, we had to wait 10 years between books, I don't know, but it's just not there for me. Books take time to write, publish, work out, especially when you have multiple successful series. You want to juggle them, but I just don't feel like this was good enough, especially on its steampunk merits alone, to get the weight. It might be different years down the road when there's maybe 3 of these and you can binge them and they're fantastic. But it's good. I just don't feel it's good enough. I would direct people towards a lot of different steampunk series that have a shorter wait for payoff and can get through it a lot quicker. And there's more to work through when you have that drive of I must get the next one and stay in this world that they've won me on. In the end, he won me over. I really did like it, but I want more. It's not happening for a while, and I want Dresden more. So I'm just not as happy as I could be, and I wouldn't suggest to fix my problem with it because I want Dresden more. I want that I want to be the end of the line. I want to finish that story arc. I want to finish the thing, what is it, 20 books and then a small series afterward. I want it I understand that you will need a break every so often. You can't just write. You won't get the same stuff you want. But I mean, if I had to choose between this sequel or the next 5 Dresden books, it would be the next 5 Dresden books by a mile. So what do you guys think? Did you like the Aeronaut's Windlass? What did you think about the title? In the end, we never got a windlass. They explain what a windlass is. We never got that. And it wasn't the Aeronaut's Windlass in the end. So, like, I thought that was weird. But how did you guys like it? Am I full of crap? You guys disagree with me? Was this your favorite book? Let me know down below. Make sure to review it on Amazon. Reviews help authors a ton. Reviews are a huge way that companies that sell things know who to push them to and how to push them, if to push them at all. Reviews are very important. 9 times out of 10, people won't review books unless it's their 100% amazing favorite. But also, people tend to only review things that they hate, they're angry about, and they want to be heard. So if you like this, if you read this, do leave a review. The more reviews, the better, to get everyone has a more accurate picture. Let me know down in the comments below, but definitely review it on Amazon. And if you like this video, subscribe for more steampunk content. I have more steampunk videos. We're going to be doing more steampunk things like this, like reviews for movies, comics, books. I wanted to start with something easy. That was one. I want to get into more books from some of my favorite series and stuff. So we'll get more into that, doing more steampunk stuff. Without further ado, thank you so much for your time. Do check out my other videos. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time when we do another steampunk book review.